Well. I've got to say, Dundee fully deserved. And what a fantastic advert. What a fantastic advert for Scottish football that was tonight. And I've been an advocate of teams having a go. At Celtic. And tonight, we definitely had that. Yeah, we definitely had that. We had a team that were at home and that thought, do you know what, let's just have a go. And do you know what, it's not the best looking football, it's Scottish football. It's not the best sometimes, it's not the most pleasing on the eye when you watch a lot of European stuff. But do you know what, it was a 3-3 game. Celtic were there for the taking. Celtic do what Celtic, and it was, listen, the people will say, oh, they were saved by a penalty. The guy's got his arm up here. It was a penalty all day long. He's got his arm away up here. It was a penalty all day long. But we were lucky. We were lucky to get the draw ultimately. But fully deserved. Hats off to Dundee. They had the game plan, and if every single team in Scotland played a similar style rather than just sitting back and trying to soak up and then play football for the last. It was a good game of football to watch, rather than a team sitting back for the best part of 80 minutes and then having a go with 10 minutes to go. That, do you know what I mean? It was a game where we made many changes. You got off to a fantastic start. Luke McCowan takes control of the ball, passes it to Greg Taylor for his 200th appearance for Celtic. Greg Taylor then chips the ball in, diagonal ball right to the other side of the box. Luke McCowan heads it into the back of the net. 5 minutes in, you think, happy days. Boom, we're on, game on. It's only one-way traffic, but not. We there was too many players tonight had bad games. Too many players had bad games. I went onto Twitter before Yang scored. Hats off to Yang for actually scoring a goal. And then, let's face it, Yang's not a Celtic player. Louis Palmer, as good as he did. Rio Hatate, his passes, he had too many wayward passes again. There's too many players at Celtic just not playing at the top of their game. Is it the fact that there's the congestion that we've had, that they're feeling it? Or is it the fact... What the hell is that noise? 2 seconds. Make sure I fucking delete that app. Kaiser. That's getting fucking deleted, that app. Anyway, we move on from that. Kaiser's a wanker. He's getting banned for the channel. Had enough of his nonsense tonight. Had an absolute enough of his nonsense tonight. Kaiser's not even going to be on the channel the rest of the night. Not after he's pissed tonight. Anyway. Celtic, yep. It was a game that was there for the taking. It was a game that Celtic ultimately drew 3-3. When we look at the stats, God, do we really need to look at the stats? Dundee had 10 shots in total, and Celtic had 12 in total. Dundee had 4 shots on target. Celtic had 5 shots on target. Celtic had 80% of possession. 80% possession, and... 80% possession, and Dundee had 20%. The passes, this is the one that always is usually quite high, but Celtic only had 649 passes tonight. Pass accuracy was 86%. That's down from about 93% that's usually at. Fouls were 10 fouls, 1 yellow card. 3 offsides and 4, only the 4 corners, which tells me how good they were playing. How good they were playing tonight. Christopher, you can never see either being a good Celtic. Yeah. There's too many players that are not performing right now for Celtic. When you need them at this time of the season, Adamida, Yang, Rio Hitati, Louis Palmer. Louis Palmer he was unlucky. The Dundee boy gets the ball just before him. But when it comes to it, there's too many players. Luke McCowan had a fantastic first half. I mean, Luke McCowan's goal, absolutely brilliant. You've got to say the ball for Greg Taylor, fantastic. But when it comes to it, when it does come to it, we just weren't good enough tonight. We just weren't good enough, and that is it. That is it. We just weren't good enough tonight. Just that. House phone. Yeah. I think Brendan focused on keeping us in the cup on Saturday. I don't think that you can understand why Brendan made the changes. Now Brendan will get slated for the changes online. People will say we made too many changes, but when you look at the cup game is an important game. I did say beforehand, would you rather drop points? Would you rather draw this game and win the cup game? And let's face it. What about the high boot? There was loads of things to talk about. We're still champions, nothing to worry about. Look, when it comes to it, good morning from Vietnam, Ray's in Vietnam. Why is Kaiser being timed out? Because he's been an asshole, Carly. Because he's been an asshole. Simple as that. Because he's been an asshole. Simple as that. He knew exactly what he was doing there. So he's been timed out. If you don't like it, you don't need to be here. Go and join his channel. No, none of the pish tonight. Anyway, how come Alistair Johnson doesn't get criticism for the Dundee goal? I think Alistair Johnson does need criticised because when you look at it, he should have done better. He should have done way better. He thought that the other players were getting back. Cameron Carter-Vickers wasn't at his best. Trusty wasn't at his best. The boy Murray for Dundee had Trusty all over the place. Bit harsh on Kaiser. Promotes your channel. Square Sausage Mac. I'm not caring. Right? I'm not caring. Don't start on me. Anyway, let's not fight amongst ourselves. We're not Huns, as they say. We look at there's too many players, absolutely too many players tonight. Greg Taylor gets his 200th game for Celtic. The headlines are going to say, look, at the end of the day, Celtic drew against a cracking Dundee side. Dundee had everything to play for and nothing to lose tonight. And I wish more teams would play like that in Scotland. If they did, it would be a much better league. And it would mean that Celtic would get their fingers out and dip into the transfer. Going, Donnelly has done it. Dundee take the lead against Celtic. That's what the headline. Yang gets his goal, but let's face it, what is wrong with Yang in the first half? He just couldn't take on a player. He couldn't take on a player at all. Is he good enough for Celtic? I don't know. Brendan Rodgers seems to think that there's a player in there somewhere, but why didn't Scales come on? Why didn't Scales come on for Trusty? Trusty was getting ran ragged. He was getting ran absolutely ragged, but it is what it is. Let's just hope that I would have brought Scales on for Trusty. He was lacking. Trusty was all over the place tonight. Look, it is what it is. You can't take away from Dundee. You can't win every single game. I said it'd be a hard game beforehand. I said there would be goals in it. I didn't think it would be 3-3. Were we lucky? Give Kenny a shout. Either just isn't doing it at the moment. Adamida, you've got to say, I've tried to defend Adamida as much as I can, but there was times today, I mean, he pushes the guy in the back in the middle of the penalty box, and you're thinking, do you know what? You're in the middle of the penalty box, mate. You know that you're not meant to push the guy in the back, but he does it anyway. There was too many silly fouls given for me. Scales must I'm not even going to say that one. Shocking performance. Was it a shocking performance for a depleted? Was it a depleted Dundee team? Was it? I'm not sure about a depleted Dundee team. Trusty looked like he just got off the bus. Yeah, maybe did just get off the bus, but who knows? And look, it is what it is. Trusty is a player that is as good he is for Celtic normally. There was too many players had an off game. Too many players. And it'll be interesting to see what Brendan Rodgers says after the game this evening. The game had draw written all over it. Did it have draw written all over it for the get-go? I'm not too sure. I think that they wanted to win that game. Dundee wanted to win the game. Celtic losing patience with Ida. Paid too much, says Green Aurora. Kenny would do a far better job than Adam Ida. Aramida should have scored in the first half. There was let's not. If we had took our chances in the first half, we would have won the game tonight and we would have put it to bed. But we didn't at the end of the day. The fact is that Arne Engels rescued Celtic. Did he rescue Celtic? It was a penalty all day long. There was no need for VAR. The guy had his hand up. He's got his hand up like this. It's a penalty all day long. But Arne Engels comes up with the goods again. It was a 3-3 draw. Converting that penalty, it just does it. I'm not even going to say it's paper over the cracks because there's no cracks. Brendan Rodgers made the changes tonight and put a team on that he thought was good enough to ultimately beat Dundee. Are there players within our team that have got a little side glance of thinking that they might get a move? Yang scores a goal. But it doesn't. Yang scoring the goal from the header, and let's face it, he was in the right position at the right time. But you've got to be as a winger for Celtic. But there was far too many times that Yang did not. Far too many times that Yang did not go past players. And I think as when you're a winger at Celtic, we were expecting our wingers to go past players or even and take players on. Yang just couldn't take a player on today, and he's been like that for weeks. But it's a draw. We move on. We are still top of the league, and they'll think that there's a title race back on. When we look at the league table, we are still top of the league, and it tells a story. We're on 60 points. The closest team to us are on 44. Celtic are on a goal difference of 53. I was hoping it was going to get to 55 tonight, but that never worked out, did it? And Dundee United, they're in third, and Aberdeen, yep. Motherwell, yeah, who cares? At the end of the day, Celtic as a team, where do we go from here? Anyway, we'll talk about it tomorrow morning. I think that we all need to just be a bit calm. It'd be interesting to see what exactly people said on the old land of Twitter to that reaction from Celtic. And you can only imagine the comments. Well done, we've got a point, but Champions League teams, Hatate is brutal. Yeah, I would kind of agree with that one. Casper, 6 out of 10. Alistair Johnson, 7 out of 10. Cameron Carter-Vickers, 6 out of 10. Trusty, 3 out of 10. Taylor, 7 out of 10. Calmac, 5 out of 10. Ewan McCowan, 7 out of 10. Paulo Bernardo, his passing was off, 4 out of 10. Adam Ida, 3 out of 10. Ski Ogo, 7 out of 10. Yang, I would give Yang a 6 out of 10. Overall, everyone was well below par. Well below par. Just not good enough. Just not good enough. But it is what it is. It is what it is. If you want to win leagues, tell you one thing, Luke McCowan is a player that Callum McGregor needs to be watching, because I think that Callum McGregor is a player that Luke McCowan would be looking to take his position long term. I think he's looking to take his position. Anyway, I'm not hanging about tonight. I've got far too much to do tomorrow morning, and we'll be back with a video first thing tomorrow morning. 26 million Dundee Ragdoll does. Bang average. Been saying it since November. Yep. Well, it is what it is. At the end of the day, we're still top of the league. Looking down on the Rangers. And on that note, have an absolutely fantastic evening to all you Celtic fans all around the world.